Welcome to the Billy and Andre show, the only show that comes in three flavors: citrus, cotton ball, and warm. Hey Billy, how you doing?
I have no idea what that joke was. I'm sorry, dude.
I mean, you'll get one. You'll get it in a second. Don't worry. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing fine, my friend. I played a wedding yesterday. That was fun. There was a tote bag with our name on it. It was really cute.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, they had
That's
tote
cute.
bags made for their wedding. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Well, they actually put the band name on it.
Yeah, because they had like the
cool.
whole roster of artists. It was really, really nice.
That's super cool.
It was quite funny because after we got off stage, looking like, bedraggled mess, because I was very hungover yesterday. Once we got off stage, pile of sweat and death that we were, all of a sudden the next band came along and they were like all like in nice waistcoats, and they had like little hats and they looked really, really sharp, and they were all wearing the same outfit.
So you went for a wedding, which was really hot, and these people chose to go on stage in waistcoats.
Yes.
In the middle of summer in the UK.
Yes.
If you don't know anything about UK weather, when it's hot here, it's
merciless. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It will kill you.
I don't know why they're wearing. They were looking like the Peaky Blinders cast, but they were committed to the bit, and I appreciate that.
You do have to appreciate that. Well, that's one way of losing some weight. Transition.
It's a nice segue, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about weird diets. Diets have been around since forever, and different cultures had different diets at different points in time. But we're not going to talk for back in the day.
No.
Because those are not, you can't really prove them 100% how they lost weight.
Yeah.
But, following 1900s, when we have a lot more accurate recording of things, there's a few diets which are absolutely ridiculous. And funny enough, some of them still survive to the day, and people still do it for some silly reason.
It's because anyone will do anything to lose weight, or
without working out. Right? That's the thing, right? Because all of these diets are like, the only way you can lose weight realistically, talking from my own journey, is calorie deficit and working out.
You need to burn more calories than you consume.
Pretty much, right? So you just have to commit to the gym for 3 days a week and don't eat like a pig.
Yeah.
Right. Basically, give up food to a certain degree.
Live entirely on those rice cakes, which nobody likes.
Well, the thing is, not a nutritionist. I had a weight loss journey, so I can kind of speak out of experience from that point of view. But once again, not a nutritionist. Do not follow my advice. It's probably really bad. But let's talk about funny things. Right?
Let's talk about people whose advice you shouldn't follow either.
Well, which you really should. Like, the last three are ridiculous. The third to last. That one, I can make a whole episode about that man. But
we're keeping it light.
We're keeping it light this time. All right, cool. You want to? Shall I just try to go in? All right, cool. So basically, on the last position, which is sort of not that bad for you, but also it's very silly to do. It's called Fletcherism.
Fletcherism.
So, it's named after a man called Horace Fletcher. He was a nutritionist that believed chewing your food until almost liquid was ideal for digestion.
I can see the intuitive logic in that.
Fletcher advocated for chewing each mouthful of food between 50 to 100 times.
What? Okay.
He thought chewing was intended to release all the flavors, nutrients of the food, and by the result of that, all the nutrients will absorb better in your body.
I can see where he's coming from with this. Like, it sounds like something that would make sense if you had a, basic understanding of science, right?
Well, the only thing, like, if you chew or if you don't chew your food enough, nutrients will still get in your body. That's why you have your stomach to do that sort of process for you. Like, if you end up chewing your food so much that you stop enjoying the food, it kind of gets silly in my point of view.
Did you ever do that thing at school? This is like a high school thing they always used to do. Like, oh, did you know that your mouth contains enzymes which break down starch? Here, have a slice of bread. Now chew this bread for about 20 minutes and eventually it'll taste sweet. And then you chew it for 10, 15 minutes and it just doesn't taste sweet. And you're like, Miss, this is a really stupid idea. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But bread is always slightly sweet, though.
True.
Well, we're not talking American bread where it's basically cake.
Well,
we're talking about
sugar,
just bread in general, because grain gets sweeter. Oh, man, I see why they were going with it.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be a science experiment, but the reality is you have to chew for way too long for it to do anything.
For no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever. I mean, it's a science experiment.
It's a kid's science experiment. It's fun, I suppose. If you want to make your kids shut up for 20 minutes, it's also really useful to fill them with bread.
I mean, you're like, I need to go for a cigarette.
Yeah.
Give them
right, just
bread.
keep chewing and don't play up until I get back.
So basically, Fletcherism gained a lot of popularities in the 20th century, but ultimately it was a fad and people just gave up on it. While some modern research suggests this slower eating can lead to a reduced calorie intake because, you take your time, you enjoy your food. The extreme version of Fletcherism was being widely adopted, but it hasn't been widely adopted because obviously you're not going to want to bite into something and chew it for 100 times.
Yeah, the thing with like fad diets especially is that, you need to get like rich celebrity type people to take them up, Yeah,
but a lot of the following ones are taken by rich celebrity people.
I think this one was actually just too disgusting to get hold of because like even if you've got like the finest caviar in the world, if you're chewing it for like 10 minutes or 100 times
you
or whatever.
don't chew caviar, Billy.
Oh yeah, good point. You can tell I've never had caviar.
You just
you just eat it.
Yeah, no, you basically put it on your hand, so it takes the body temperature because it needs to come up to body temperature, and your skin, because it's naturally salty, it would also flavor the caviar, and then you eat it right off of your hand, not off of your fingers like if we would have been filming up, but you eat it off of your hand.
Oh, like
right?
like the salt in a tequila shot.
And then basically like the salt of a tequila, you take it in your mouth, and then you pop it on the roof of your mouth. I mean, I was like, how can I say this not sounding? You imagine I had to explain.
Just embrace it, man. Like, just eat the.
Imagine I had to
eggs.
explain to people in restaurants how to eat caviar, and I'm like, yeah, you just have to take it into your mouth and pop it on the roof of your mouth. And I had to have a straight face saying that,
I don't think I could do that, man. This is why I was
tried.
not built for silver service.
I tried. You go in the back and you giggle like a logo. You're like,
I told them to do a blowjob, lol.
And they're gonna tip me after this. It's great.
I appreciated the waiter's candor.
Another will be number 7 because we're going like.
Oh, are we going up in terms of like how?
Well, when you get to number 1, it's really bad.
Oh, it's
number
like
1, in my opinion, like most charts, because there's literally charts about this. Most charts they don't put it on number 1, but I personally feel like it's number 1, the number 1. But let's go to number 7 now.
Let's see.
It's called the Sleeping Beauty diet.
Okay.
First introduced by Jacqueline Susan in her novel Valley of the Dolls. You could buy the book.
That's the Stepford wife thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So the idea behind this diet is that you will seduce yourself for a long period of time so you don't have to eat any food.
Right. So you're... Okay, so you're like... It's like... what's the one? What's that thing that's called? Binging and purging kind of thing.
Binging and purging. Oh, you mean when people go on a massive fast and they only eat for 1 hour a day, or?
When you like eat a bunch of food, then you feel like this is a thing with people with eating disorders, right? This is what bulimia for most part centers around. Basically, people who have eating disorders, even if they don't eat, are obsessed with food. They're always thinking about it. It's like one of the permanent things in their mind. Yeah. A lot of people with bulimia and anorexia, they will make food for other people and put a lot of effort into it and watch them eat it like a hawk. Like, oh my God, that looks amazing. And then not eat it.
So
not eat anything.
So basically, with this fad diet, it was people that are bulimic will choose to do this because they're like, I don't want to think about food. I'm just going to sedate myself, put myself to sleep.
Oh.
So they sleep for about 20 hours a day.
And then they get up, they eat quickly, and then...
They eat something, a small amount. They basically put themselves in a caloric deficit by sedating themselves.
Right.
And just not eating. So they wake up, they have one meal, 1,000 calories, and they put themselves back to bed. And because you don't eat for 20 hours, your body needs about 2,000 calories to actually survive. So you're an automatic deficit.
I can see a problem with this straight away, right? Don't you use less calories when you're asleep?
You do, but your body still needs calories to function.
Oh, right. So
you still...
If you did the math right, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have to do the math. Well, I can't express how stupid the whole idea of it is, because you leave your whole life pass by. So what's the point of living, right?
Yeah, you can't, this isn't a sustainable diet.
No, it isn't, because you just sleep all the time. Even though the idea sounds really great after a five-day week. I feel like I could sleep for 20 hours right now, but... you just waste your whole time. Like, I'm really tired right now. Yeah. But I chose to do something social and fun rather than sleeping just so I can lose weight, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, like you can't maintain that if you've got a job or anything like that.
So, we go into celebrities now. Do you know who we want on this diet?
I'm just going to say Gwyneth Paltrow for all of these.
No, the king himself. The hillbilly cat. Elvis the Pelvis, the Manfred. This is all his nicknames. I tried to say that with a straight face.
No, you failed. You failed. It's funny. I'm sorry.
So if you go on the internet and you look up the Sleeping Beauty diet, so the story comes up in two different sort of. They're two different stories. They're written completely different one from each other. One of them is that he literally bought drugs off the Memphis Mafia to put himself to sleep so he can lose a lot of weight before his shows.
He loved himself some drugs.
He did.
He really did.
He did.
It was mostly his managers who kept him on it as well.
Because, he was more fun like that.
Yeah. And probably less of a... his wife was 14.
Yeah.
Really fucking weird.
I mean, if you look at most sort of celebrities from back in that day, for some reason they
literally all of them. Yeah,
the richer they get, the weirder they get.
That is definitely
as an
true.
Example. Should we give the example? Like P Daddy. Oof.
Oh yeah, he got free. What the fuck?
Yeah, he got charged just by 2 counts, but the lesser counts.
Oh, so he's walking free then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh god damn.
They did put $1 million. How they call when they can get
$1 million bail or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So that's very affordable for him. So it doesn't know. Well,
it should be alarming to people that Puff Daddy has so much money when he hasn't made music in 25 years. His music was shit to begin with.
But he's a producer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because
that's how he kept his. He knew the right people and he just produced things.
So he was just sort of producing while probably not doing much work.
Pretty much, yeah. They were just making money because, he has a label. So as long as you have a label, you get somebody to work. Dude, it's called management, right?
It's the music industry. It's fucked. And,
it's really bad.
Another episode.
Well, and there's a second story, which is, I believe this is more believable story. So he wanted to lose a lot of weight really fast. So he went to a bunch of doctors, and the doctors...
This is Elvis we're talking about.
We're talking about Elvis.
We're
going back to Elvis.
Not talking Puff Daddy.
No, not Puff Daddy. No. So, I mean, you can't believe any story about Puff Daddy. Except for the fact that he had gallons of lube for some reason. Baby oil.
That stuff runs out fast. Although I don't know why you need gallons of baby oil. Baby oil tends to stay in the skin quite well. It's
Maybe he really enjoys it.
Maybe he just really enjoys being very slippery. That's why they took it so long to catch him.
No. So the second story, he got a whole bunch of doctors to put him in a coma because he wanted to lose weight. And when he woke up after his self-induced, well, not self-induced, but doctor-induced coma, first thing he did, he vomited and swore he'll never do that again in his life.
Dude, that was, when was this? The 60s, the 70s?
I think so. He was in the 50s, right? So I think he was right before he had that episode where he was constipated for 14 days.
And then died on the toilet, yeah.
No, he didn't die on the toilet. He died on the toilet because he died on the toilet, but he had an episode where he had a full-time nurse and he was constipated for 14 days in a row. That sounds horrible, doesn't it?
That sounds like heroin to me, if I'm honest. Heroin does that to you. Don't do heroin, kids.
I mean, it's never recommended.
No.
On number 6, it's called HCG diet. This one I found especially funny. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. You go on a 300 calorie a day diet where you just eat 500. Oh, sorry. Did I say 300 or 500?
You said 300.
It was 500.
Okay, 500.
500 calories a day diet, and you take a drug called HCG. So HCG stands for, I wrote it down here.
Is it a really long Latin word?
No, it's human chronic gonadotropia, which is basically found in pregnant women's urine.
Right.
So the drug is it's typically used for pregnant women. No, for women to have a higher chance to get pregnant.
Oh, right.
But somebody made a diet out of it.
Of course they did.
You're basically not losing weight because you're on the drug. That's more of a placebo effect.
Right.
You're losing weight because you only eat 500
calories a day. For the record, and I looked this up once for a completely unrelated reason, but I did look this up once when I was working in eating disorder units. You know how many, like just for tick over, just for your brain to live, like stay alive, you know how many calories it takes?
For a man, you need 2,200, and for a woman, 1,800.
That's the recommended daily, like, intake, right?
Okay.
But the brain itself uses about 400 calories a day.
Yeah.
So if you're having 500, you've got just about enough for your brain and your heart to work, and that's it.
Yeah. But no, so here's what people don't understand with overdoing it in diets. And I mean, I do respect people that can fast for long periods and times and stuff like that, and like, good for you can do it, but I really hope you're eating enough, because you lose body mass, not just fat but muscle.
Yeah.
And then you don't have any strength and you're always tired, and people do that and they're okay with it just because they look better. I'm like, I'd rather have a little bit of a beer belly and not have difficulty walking down the street because I don't have any energy for it, right?
Yeah, we should probably draw there's a line between like people who are good at fasting and people who are just anorexic. There's a big line there,
Well, if you go on, you don't have Instagram.
No, I do not.
We have Instagram together because
you run the socials, I ignore the socials. This is how the dynamic works.
So if you ever go on Instagram, there's this thing, right, with these girls. It's probably on TikTok as well.
I know what you're going to say. I know what word you're going to say now.
No, I'm not going to call them anything, but there's these girls that literally like, oh, look at my 400 calorie a day diet, and they eat a slice of cucumber, 3 slices of lettuce, a little piece of fish, and that's all they do. And then they look great. They look really skinny. I mean, a little bit too skinny for my cup of tea, but they're okay with it.
Well, you say they look good in Instagram photos, which is not the same as looking good in real life. There's a big difference there.
You reckon they're just skin and bone when you see them in real life?
Yep.
Filters, man, you have to love filters.
They do cut off the sharp edges. A little bit of a soft glow filter does a lot, for your elbows, just stop it look like your bones are literally trying to escape your body.
So we need to put filters when we start recording.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Ourselves. Yeah. We're gonna have to use all the filters
to
make ourselves look good.
Yes, like we're gonna need so many filters. It's gonna look like AI art.
So, oh, dude, talking of AI art, I know I'm gonna go on a different tangent. You don't do TikTok. I don't really do TikTok, but I do YouTube Shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate how much AI generated footage is on YouTube Shorts at the moment.
It's everywhere. It's all the adverts as well.
I can't escape. I don't get adverts because
someone fancy pays for YouTube. Yeah.
But I hate it so much because I go through it, and there's a few people that I really enjoy their content and I enjoy watching it. And then, you scroll through and then you hit another one, AI generated BS.
Yeah. And it gets stuff wrong.
And there's sound, right? The sound of it is like probably from a video, but then they decided to do it in AI. And it's like, come on, dude, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to see this rubbish.
Yeah. AI generated voices are the ones that really set me off.
I'm trying to block it. And then I block one and another 2 pop up. As in, you find their profile and you block
not interested. And they keep coming back.
Yeah. YouTube need to sort themselves out. Right?
They really do.
You need to give me a filter where I'm like, nothing age generated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm not interested in this channel, please never recommend me that channel again. Yeah,
but
Thank you very much.
They still do it. I think because you spend time watching it, because you're trying to unclick.
Yeah, like looking
They're
at
like,
it.
Oh, you're actually enjoying this.
You've got a higher click-through impressions rate or whatever.
Yeah, have another look. I'm like, no, please, no. Well, going back to the subject.
I'm glad to see that you're coming around to my position on AI art.
No, dude, I don't hate AI art, right? Because there's some... Dude, let's fight about it.
Anyway.
Okay. So, side effects of this drug.
Yes. Oh, yes. What is the side effects of this drug?
It's absolutely hilarious. This is why I find it so funny. Bloating. Diarrhea.
Oh, God.
Severe nausea. Stomach pain.
Brilliant.
Rapid weight gain.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Rapid weight gain is on the side effects
That's one
list.
of the side effects.
Oh,
That's why I introduced this part, because I found it very hilarious.
Was that in the common side effects section? How
Yeah.
So this is like above 10% chance of just rapid weight gain.
Yeah.
That's sensational.
I mean, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because you're not gonna eat. Because you're starving yourself already. Well,
and you're shitting yourself blind. So
I do need to put a note in here, because it seems like we're hating on people and hating on people trying to lose weight. We're not hating on people trying to lose weight. We're hating on people's fads for diets and stuff.
Yeah, because it's always someone trying to sell you some shit. And frankly, if someone's trying to sell you some shit, you should tell them to fuck off. Because that's all they're interested in is your money.
Your money. Well, this one is like just trying to sell you drug.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, we need to offload some of this drug. We had too many women piss. So
do you think they just gave them the drug first off, or when the women weren't losing weight? Like, oh no, you have to stay under 500 calories. And they were like, wait, hang on a second.
Because the thing is, it's like some sort of doctor did this.
Yeah.
Right? So as soon as you see a doctor in front of somebody's name, you're like, oh, he can't be sleazy. They usually are if they're American.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Americans.
Yeah, sorry, America. Your doctoring system is just
your doctoring system is just based on profit. So if you don't make money,
it sucks to be you.
Moving on, we are at number 4. This is called the Master Cleanse. Very popular in Hollywood. Basically is 10 days of water mixed with cayenne pepper, organic lime juice. For some reason it has to be organic, because otherwise it's not going to work, and maple syrup. So you do this for 10 days.
Right.
Only that.
So just drink those.
Just drink those for 10 days.
That sounds like it's literally you're just going to shit yourself to death.
Pretty much. Well, and it's going to hurt as well, because there's cayenne pepper in there.
Oh, God. So we graduated from diarrhea to burning diarrhea. That's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
This one actually works because you starve yourself for about 10 days. So you will lose weight, muscle, and will to live.
Probably some bone density.
I think 100% the will to live. By the end of it, you're like, why would I do this?
It's day 9. I've been on the toilet for 17 hours. Everything is liquid. Everything. I'm a human waterfall.
Famous person that is actually attached to this diet?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, Beyonce.
Oh, God.
So she allegedly, because it's not sure, because she's been on a whole bunch of different diets. But this was mentioned that she swore by it. But again,
how much was she paid for that?
I don't know, internet, man. But nobody can make money off of this, because it's just basically, the cayenne pepper people are earning a lot of money because of this diet.
Do you think this is?
I don't know. I don't know who came up with it, why they came up with this. It's. I feel like it's
conspiracy
really...
by Big Cayenne Pepper.
Yeah, but it's silly. It's silly because you starve yourself. I mean, great for you if you do try to do this. There's a lot of celebrities in Hollywood. If again, you don't follow as much social media as I do, but you see a lot of celebrities, they swear about fasting all the time, and they're like, I fasted for this many days or for this many days. Good for you, but why?
Yeah,
it wasn't actually worth it, right?
Yeah, and that's not really how fasting works. Even like, Muslims who go through Ramadan, like even if they fast during Ramadan, you still eat. You just eat after the sun goes down. You're not fasting permanently.
Yeah, exactly. You still get your calorie intake because you need calorie intake. Yeah, you just have to suffer it whilst the sun is up.
Yeah, and just hope that Ramadan doesn't fall in July like it did last year, I think.
This year was...
Oh no, it was April, wasn't it?
I think it was April. Oh,
possibly March.
My friend, she's gonna kill me. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, my
sorry. We are not lovers of Allah, so we do not have.
Don't say that. She's lovely.
I know. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, we do not follow the teachings of Allah, so we will not know when Ramadan is. I apologize.
Okay. Shall we move to the next one?
What's the next one?
Now it's getting. Those ones were bad, but now it's getting like really silly. Oh, are you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm ready.
The tongue patch diet.
Okay.
Did you ever want to hate eating food, Billy?
You know what? I've always, whenever I like take a bite into a juicy steak, the first thing I think is, I wish this was worse.
Yeah. So for the low price of $2,000,
oh Jesus,
you can have this plastic surgery done on you. So in 2009, a doctor called Nicolas Chugay, don't know how to say your name, invented this in Beverly Hills. This patch is a mesh made out of plastic.
Yeah.
It's sort of a polymer mixed with this. It's a very rough sort of texture to it, and will make you lose weight. Basically what happens, they will surgically attach this to your tongue.
What?
And you can't literally eat any solid food. You
What?
go on a straight liquid diet. And the liquid diet that they recommend, it's about 800 calories a day.
So they surgically alter your tongue,
yeah,
to stop you from being able to eat properly.
Yeah. I just let that sink in. I mean, it sounds absolutely grotesque. So there's pictures on the internet, and this mesh, it's about 2 centimeters on 2 centimeters, but it's enough to make it uncomfortable for you to actually eat properly. Because when you talk, I don't know if you ever paid attention, when you talk or when you chew, your tongue moves around.
Yeah.
It does things. So it's basically rubbing on the top of your mouth, and will make it really uncomfortable for you to eat.
Oh, dude.
And it's fully legal, and you can still get it done.
Fuck that. Seriously.
$2,000, man. He's the only one that does
Christ.
it. Well, actually, it got popular in Venezuela. So there's 2 places you can get it done. Either in Beverly Hills or in Venezuela. Side note, I went on Yelp.
Yeah?
And I looked up Mr. Nicholas's clinic.
Oh, yeah?
People really hate him.
Really?
He has a 3.5 at the point of this recording.
Let me guess, all the 5 stars look like they were written by ChatGPT.
Well, I haven't looked. I looked at the 1-star ones. But nobody mentions this procedure on there.
Oh,
so
really?
Nobody, I'm not sure. Maybe they're happy with the procedure.
Are they just calling him a dickhead then? Or?
No, they're like, oh, he botched my nose, he botched this, he botched my this. One lady is like, he operated, and then 5 years later, I still have the scars.
Oh, Jesus.
So she went there for a rhinotopy. That's what they're called when you get
the rhinoplasty or whatever, the nose job.
Yeah, a nose job. And then he messed up her nose so badly that she has scars from it.
I've never seen a scar from a nose job ever.
I don't know, man.
How does he do that?
He's really good at it.
He just does it with a fucking machete by the sounds of things. Jesus Christ.
Well, he's not very good. And if you look at pictures from inside of his office, it looks like it's from the 60s.
Oh, really?
It looks so bad in there. Like old chairs. They're like wooden chairs with textile back. Oh, dude, it looked like if I would walk in there needing any kind of job, even a hand job, I would walk away. I'm not kidding, dude. It's like you don't want to be in there. It's so fucking stupid.
Bold stance and a hot take from Andre here. I would not get jacked off by a criminal doctor in a practice that was built in the 60s and smells of old people.
It probably does. It probably does, right?
This is a weird sort of like, I don't know if you ever like gone into like a house that like an old person used to own. It hasn't been like the decor hasn't been updated since the 70s.
Oh yeah, it has that smell.
There's a smell that's sort of permanent there, and you kind of can't. It's in the carpets. I swear to God, it's the carpets. It's always the fucking carpets. You need to pull those carpets up. You need to burn them, and then you possibly could get rid of the smell.
You're a little bit mean there, aren't you?
I'm sorry, but I have traumatic memories of having to tear up several carpets at several homes. You're right, though, about fun little side story that I can actually contribute something here. When you're talking about, like, you know, how much, you know, your mouth muscles move when you're chewing, most of the time people don't think about that.
Yeah.
But one of the things we had to do for disability care training was an understanding of how difficult it is for people with only some of their mouth capabilities to be able to swallow things.
Yeah.
Because all the chewing and, like, if you actually pay attention, like, the best example is, like, a segment of orange, because that's really difficult to eat. Because there's a skin, and there's, like, the juicy bit inside.
Oh, yeah, because the juicy bit goes away, and then you have the membrane.
And then you've got the membrane, you have to, like, you know, chew that. And because it's, like, thin and sort of almost kind of, it's sort of stringy, so you need to chew it quite a lot. And you're constantly like...
Oh, so probably that makes it really hard for you. Oh,
it makes it easy for you to pay attention to it.
I see that.
So it's like, here's a list of things you shouldn't give a person with swallowing difficulties. Orange peel, or orange segments is number one. Like, unless you skin that stuff and mash it up, But
that's why they do the... I want to call it hard water, but it's not hard water. The water that is slightly viscous. How is it that one called? Is that why they drink that water? Because they can't choke on it.
Yeah. That's why you put thickener in basically any sort of liquid they have to drink, because it makes it, you can get a purchase on it with your throat, if that makes sense. So you're not going to swallow it and accidentally inhale it into your lungs.
Well, when I did caring for that brief week, and then I realized that's not for me. Everything he had...
Andre gave up on caring. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I couldn't care enough. What? No, so basically everything that he had to eat... I had to put it through a blender. Like I was cooking nice food, making a nice bolognese, then straight in the blender.
Nice.
Because
pasta is actually not recommended to do that with, because
no. It was a bolognese sauce that went in the blender, so he had some sort of nutrients. Because the guy that was looking after him for 10 years already, he's like, yeah, let's just try to give him a balanced meals where he can have some sort of protein, some of this, some of that, rather than just make it easy, just give him pudding.
Yeah.
And when I say pudding, I mean...
like a little cup of pudding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't mean like Americans look at... Americans... No, that's how Americans call pudding. We call everything else pudding here.
Yeah. Pudding's just the name of the meal, but...
Yeah.
For some reason, the bloody colonials have to go and ruin our language again.
Oh, colonials. But yeah, needless to say, that's a bad idea. Well, I'm going back now because tangent over.
But drinking maple syrup water is not a good diet.
That was 2 diets ago.
Oh, that was 2. Wait, what? So which one?
You're mixing diets.
Sorry, the tongue surgery. I forgot. My brain blanked it out because it's fucking horrifying.
It's a horrible idea. So when the stitches come off, because they come off by themselves, that's when you're done with your diet.
Wait. So you're stitching things to your tongue. So there's stitches in your tongue.
Yeah. Literally, this is... So you did not get why this is so bad, right?
No, I didn't quite... I thought it would be like some sort of glue, maybe?
No. He literally stitches it to your tongue.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that would happen in a Japanese prison camp.
Yeah.
That's like some World War II
people pay £2,000 for that. Oh, sorry, dollars.
Dollars, yeah.
Slightly cheaper.
Well, it is now.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Right?
Is there a name for this surgery?
No, it's called the tongue patch diet. That's it.
That's just called the tongue patch diet. It sounds so helpful and friendly and innocuous.
Yeah, it's just a horrible...
It's all right. I'm going to open your mouth and I'm going to put this needle through the muscle of your tongue and I'm going to... Fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
Sounds horrible, right?
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, if you don't want to eat properly, you can just break your jaw. You'll be eating through a straw. It's basically the same.
Well, the worst part for me is, I like texture in my food.
Yeah. Yeah,
so it's like just drinking stuff. I tried Huel for a while.
Oh, God.
Because I thought... Listen, before it came out that it's really bad for you, and before I understood a little bit about nutrition, I thought, I should do that, replace one of my meals with a Huel, and then, that's just 350, get everything you need. I couldn't get behind it. No, I couldn't get behind the fact that you just drink a whole meal. I need something crispy. I need something there. Give me some salad. I like salad. I have some salad with that. Thank you very much. So you can't have a Huel and a salad. I mean, it's
you can't put it on the salad. It's not like Caesar sauce.
It's pretty much you can't do that. You cannot do that.
My friend used to make absolutely dynamic protein shakes. They got super into making their own protein shakes.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, it sort of basically turned into almost a dessert. It was really good for you, but it was energizing as fuck. But it was still it was kind of sweet, and it had blueberries and little chunks of chocolate and
That's a smoothie. That's a protein smoothie.
Yeah, but there's a difference between a protein.
I'm just saying, for someone that goes to the gym, there's a difference between a protein smoothie and a protein shake, man.
Well, actually, you just actually be on protein shakes. Come on,
I can.
I know you can, and you probably will again.
Moving on, this is the third worst thing I heard about
Okay.
In my life.
Let me guess. You have to chop your dick off or something.
It's a little bit worse. Well, it's not really worse. No, it's not. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know, you're automatically losing 200 grams just because you did that. You're like, oh, no, it's not.
Speak for yourself.
What, 10 grams for you? Oh, sorry, Billy.
Asshole. Should have seen that one coming. That's a joke. Yeah, that
Let's not
work.
do that. Let's not do that. Yes, you can. It works. The joke.
I know the joke works, dude. I'm just saying it doesn't work for you.
Okay. Calm down.
And recenter.
Yeah. Funny you say that. So the next one's called Bretonism or Inadia.
What?
So this
Bretonism.
Bretonism. So this diet is not necessarily new. Different forms of it you can find throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with Indian monks and fasting as a concept. It's old. It's good. It's old. A lot of cultures do it. In Orthodox religion, you get people fasting for a whole Friday, which we call it the Black Friday, where you only drink water for 24 hours.
The Catholics used to have a similar thing about meat on
and
Friday.
Then you have the Ramadan, because we talked about the Ramadan earlier. They do that for a whole month, which good for them.
The Buddha fasted for forever, and then discovered that fasting was bullshit.
So here's the story. Willie Brooks. Did you ever hear of Willie Brooks?
Never heard of Willie Brooks.
Is the founder of Bretonism Institute of America. He was first introduced to the public in 1980 when he appeared on a TV show called That's Incredible.
Yeah.
His life itself, it's worth a whole episode because he is...
Is he one of those guys who just sort of lied and managed to get into places?
Hey, dude, don't ruin my thing.
Dude, these guys pop up, man. There was some guy who was selling radioactive shit to people, saying it would cure erectile dysfunction, and a guy's face fell off because of it. You know, there's always a guy like that somewhere.
So here's how the diet works. The sun is a fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
It could offer you everything you actually need. You don't need to eat food. The same way you will eat a potato and you will get energy from eating the potato, you could just sit there and watch the sun.
So he's saying that humans should photosynthesize.
Exactly.
Fuck's sake. You cannot win with these people, man.
Well, he doesn't say that you should give up food completely, but you should give up the concept of eating. Only when you're hungry, because after a while we'll stop being hungry, which is true. It's actually proven that if you start a very long fast, you stop feeling hungry because your brain's like, we need to stop giving the signals because we're not going to have food and we just make him uncomfortable. That one's true. So you stop being hungry, but it doesn't mean you don't have nutrients. You're just missing nutrients.
Yeah, you can avoid hunger pains, but there's lots of ways to do that.
Here's his story, right? So at that point, he claims he produced Jimi Hendrix. He claims he produced a lot of big names. Well, the thing is, I couldn't find anything about it. It's probably out there. There's something out there because you can't just claim that on national television.
The thing is, a lot of the time back in the day before the internet, you kind of could because no one would check.
So the latest videos I saw of him he was in his 70s and it was posted about 7 years ago.
Oh, right.
So the man kept to his...
So he's still around, this guy?
He passed away, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, or fortunately.
Probably fortunately. I mean, if the guy is telling you to literally eat the sun instead of actually, eating food.
Yeah. So on this diet, right, he said when he first went into it, right, so Jimi Hendrix passed and he said, that's when I started contemplating death and understanding why we die. Which I don't understand.
We die from vomiting our mouths, Andre. That's why we die.
No, we die from not eaating food, just sitting in the sun. But that's not the thing.
I see his point, right? His thinking is, if Jimi Hendrix hadn't eaten food the day he died, he wouldn't have had anything to vomit and choke on.
Pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. Am I actually... I was joking.
So here's he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Okay, that's fair.
But he said, so when that happened, he started contemplating life, blah, 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 a lot of BS. It's a great video to watch. It's only like 5 minutes, but it's great to watch. I was laughing by myself down here when I was writing this, and I think Carolyn heard me from upstairs, but It is what it is, right?
Just laughing at this old dude saying, "Oh yeah, well, when Jimi Hendrix died, man, I contemplated life and shit," and everyone's just like, "Yeah, it sounds like everybody else who was there when Jimi Hendrix died."
Pretty much, right? So he said after he started this diet, this lifestyle, because it's basically a lifestyle, stop eating. So when he started this, he was living in on Muscle Beach in California, right? And he went to where all the big guys worked out. And because he was doing this for a while, he just started lifting weights.
So,
do you want to hear how much he claims he can back squat?
Oh, I'm sure it's 300 pounds.
800 pounds. So just as a concept, 800 pounds equivalent to 360 kilograms, right? 300. I can back squat 140.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
Yeah,
right? And I'm not skinny, because if you see pictures of this guy, he is skinny. I think if a wrong gust of wind blows his way, he's gone, right? Just so you understand how much 360 kilograms is.
That's like 4 people.
It's 1,100 red squirrels, bud. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's been a long time, but it's back. It's back, baby.
Also, it's 180 platypuses. That one's for you, Chloe. That was I was
so
waiting.
He's saying he can bench press like half a building, and he looks like
no, it's not half a building. 360 kilograms is, I don't know how,
a pallet of bricks.
Pretty much a pallet of bricks. Yeah,
that's a lot of weight.
It's about almost 6 bags of 50 kilograms cement. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of weight, man. So I was watching the video, because in the video he proves he could do it, right?
Right.
His idea of a back squat is putting a whole bunch of weight on there, which didn't really look real. Because if you look at them, you're like, I'm pretty sure that's styrofoam. He puts it on there. He puts a towel on the bar. He goes in the back squat position and he goes, ee, for like a second, and he just lifts it slightly off the bar. He doesn't take it off the bar. He doesn't hold it on his back. He just goes, ee, and that's it. It's hilarious to see, and I'm like, that's not a squat. You did not squat anything. You just went on your tiptoes and you made the bar look like it's going up. I can do that. Oh, not gonna lie, I can do more than Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall's record, and it's the only world recognized record, it's 500 kilograms.
I was gonna say, what is the world record for?
500 kilograms.
So not 800.
No, 800 pounds.
Oh, right.
Pounds and kilograms. Sorry, I went between measurements.
Of course.
Yeah. So he claimed that he can do 360. Eddie Hall did 500.
And that's a recent world record.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, have you seen Eddie Hall?
Yeah, he's a gigantic dude.
Yeah, dude, the man's absolutely a beast.
He's wider than he is tall, and he's quite tall.
Yeah, he's great. I love Eddie Hall. I don't know why.
I saw him in an MMA fight with two random skinny dudes.
Yeah, that was so hilarious. You know why he beat them up so badly?
Because he's the size of a tank,
no,
dude.
They stole his water bottle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and when they were doing the pre-match thing, they stole their water bottle, and they're like, ha, you're Eddie Hall, you can't do anything. And he's like, I will destroy you. And he did. He literally picked them up and just chucked them across the floor. It was great.
We have weight classes in the sport for a reason, guys.
No. The two of them together was his weight class.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Does it not? Okay, cool.
I mean, you put him in there with like a Francis Ngannou or Cain Velasquez, he's probably going to get his ass kicked. But two little guys are not going to do shit unless they manage to get on his neck and strangle him.
So, to go back to the story.
Sorry, my MMA brain broke in there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm pulling you back, just so maybe we can finish
on a reasonable time.
So
never.
There's 2 more diets to go though. So
we've gotten past the tongue sewing job.
Yeah. Well, just to debunk him. I mean, he's a dead man, but I'm still digging.
Oh yeah. By all means.
He was found in California buying a Slim Jim, a Mountain Dew, and something else. So he's been proven. And then right after that happened, he said. He found that there are 4 major deterrents to prevent him from living without food: people, food, air, and an electro problem, which I never got.
Electrolytes, it's what they crave.
No, I mean, I think he referred to technology, right? In that case,
I was like, oh, my nerves aren't firing electrical impulses anymore. Probably because you stopped eating food.
So let's just wrap it up. I'll just give you because Brooks has an institute. Has his own. There's actually still YouTube channels running from his institute, even though he passed away. Somebody else is still doing it.
Some poor beleaguered sucker. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you wanna learn his ways, you can go to the institute, and they will sell you everything you need to know. You know how much it costs you for an average Joe?
Lay it on me.
$100,000.
What?
With a deposit of $10,000, of course.
That's a fucking house payment.
Terms and conditions will apply.
What?
And then if you're a rich motherfucker,
how much?
$50 billion.
With the 50 billion.
$50 billion.
With a
by
B.
wire with a B. You don't believe me? Read there. It's right after the 10,000.
Okay, yeah, that's a Wikipedia article, and okay.
It's called the Immortality Workshop.
Oh God, he's like that other guy. He's like the guy who like keeps stealing his son's blood.
Yeah, is there a guy that steals his son's blood?
Have you not heard of that guy?
No.
Like, it's a guy, he's in his 40s, he's a billionaire off some tech grifts, or he started up some company that I don't fucking remember. Anyway, he's obsessed with basically living forever. So he's getting, like, a team of scientists. He's paying a shitload of money for this.
Oh, I know the guy.
Yeah. Like, the guy's like, I'm going to stay eternally young forever.
No, he
My blood is that of an 18-year-old.
So with his diet, he only proved that you can slow down aging by nutrition.
And he hasn't slowed down aging. He looks exactly the age that he is.
Well, apparently he ages like where you age 1 year, he ages 340 days.
Oh, great! Yeah, let me just like enjoy like the rest of the 60.
But he doesn't enjoy anything. Have you seen his actual diet?
Oh no, the guy's mental.
I watched the whole video. Like it was a whole video for like an hour, and I watched it. I was curious, right? I'm like, what does he do? And I'm like, he's not living life.
No, he's not. Like, literally everything is like...
There's no point of living like that. I'd rather be like, yes, just off me. We're done with this.
Literally.
So
this is. I think that money is actually a cause of certain mental illnesses at some point. Like, above a certain amount,
but
you know?
See, I always theorize that. You're completely right. I always theorize the fact is the richer people get, the more bored they get. And the more money they have, the more stupid things they do. Because have you noticed... I mean, like, yeah, poor people do stupid shit as well. Like, you know... the R word and this and that and the other. But then rich people do the same things. They get away with it, but on a massive scale.
Yeah, and after a while, you know, you realize, oh, wait, there's no consequences. It's like a video game. And then you sort of go crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
It's so weird. So money makes people crazy. But, you know, if you have spare money, send it my way.
You know who actually predicted that?
Cool.
Karl Marx. He actually wrote about that. Yeah. He actually did.
He said, we're not going to bring politics into this.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, Karl Marx wrote, you know, he did. Everyone says Marx hated rich people. He didn't. He actually felt kind of bad for them because
they were going insane.
Yeah, and the rich people of the time were like landed gentry. They were royalty. They were like, you know, the aristocracy. And he was like, it must be really depressing and miserable to play out these really, like, these petty, bitter sort of social games that they play for, like, power struggles, Game of Thrones shit that they have to do to get, like, to stay in power and stay in favor with the royal family and all this bullshit. Yeah. He said it must be really tiring and really frustrating for them.
Probably
you know? I mean...
But nowadays they don't have to prove anything to anybody. If you're rich enough, you're the power.
How many rich people have you heard complain about cancel culture?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Except
Joe Rogan, richest comedian to ever fucking live, constantly bitching about cancel culture. Has been for like 5 years. He's been bitching about it forever.
But he's never been cancelled because he just embraces it.
No, yeah, that's the thing. He's never been cancelled. He's just basically annoyed at people on Twitter having a go at him. And that's all he cares about. Listen, that's how he defines his entire life now.
You know for a fact the solution of if people complain about you on Twitter.
Turn off Twitter.
Exactly.
Get rid of it. Talking to you, Elon.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on because there's 2 more to go.
Sorry,
this is one of the second worst things you can do to yourself.
Is this going to involve some sort of like, you know, injection of like acid that's going to kill?
No.
Okay.
No. So this is horrible. It's just disgusting. The last two, so I'm like, that's why I put them down, because for me it hurts me more.
Content warning.
Yeah,
this is going to get weird.
It's going to be weird and disgusting. So this one comes with a book, actually.
Oh, wonderful!
So for the low price of now £9, you can get this book in hardcover. It's literally called The Last Chance.
Oh, that's nice. So it's your last chance to be not a fatty.
It's written by Robert Slean. I'm not sure if it's a woman or a man, because there are confronting pictures there, so I'm not sure which one was which. So I'm not sure. Maybe Robert Slean, it's either him or her. Got no idea.
Well, say they them.
They them. Oh wow, that was
that they them diet.
So like everything else on this list, it's a calorie deficit diet, which sounds good. You know, it's a calorie deficit diet.
Basic theory.
Basic theory. It's a 500 calorie diet, and the diet comes in the form of a slushy kind of thing. So it's basically you take crushed up animal horns, crushed up hives, as in deer hives and stuff like that, crushed up hooves, bones, and lots of byproducts of animals from the slaughterhouse. Mix it with a little bit of citrus and water, because of course it needs to have some sort of flavor to it. So it comes in a citrus flavor, but you are eating horns, hives, hooves, bones.
So all the shit that like people say, hey, your sausage is only 30% meat because it's full of ears.
You embrace the 30%.
Yeah. So you take like the 30% meat is gone. It's just the rest of the shit.
Everything that is absolutely horrid in there, you take it and you eat that inside of a slushy, and you do 500 calories a day of this stuff, which probably tastes absolutely horrific.
And it probably, like, that must be salty as all hell.
Dude, I don't understand how anybody can put this in their body, right? The
strawberry flavor, in you go.
So the concept of it is called PSMF, which is protein sparing modified fast, because you're basically fasting for most of the day, because I don't think you could do 3 meals a day of, splitting 500 calories in 3 meals a day and just 3 times a day.
That's gonna be like a less than a normal size Coke can.
The thing with animal horns, hives, hooves, bones, I'm just emphasizing how horrible this is, right? They all have nutrients that your body need, right? They're not necessarily bad for you, but the idea and flavor of it, and you voluntarily go to a butcher's and like, all the stuff you threw away, can I have it? Can you also blend it for me? Because I just want to drink that, blah, 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 blah. I imagine.
I'm not going to boil it into soup. I'm going to eat it raw.
Well, it never specifies there, because I haven't read the book. I didn't spend £9 to read the book. I don't want to read the book.
You see, you just don't understand, Andre. His technique can only be revealed to you if you give him a princely sum of $9.99.
$9.99. Well, yeah, true. Well, $9.99 it goes for now. The book came out in 1976.
So it's out of print. Okay.
No, you can still find it. I was contemplating to order it just because it would have been funny. But
it would have taken too.
So, about 3 years later, in 1979, Eisner published a report. Eisner is an institute in America.
The Institute for something.
Public a report where 17 people died from this.
Holy shit. Did all the bones and hooves shred their insides?
I don't know how they died, because it doesn't specify how, but it just specifies that some 70 people died.
Jesus Christ.
So PSMF, it's still around. The concept of it, it's still sort of valid to a certain degree. And there's a lot of fitness institutes that still follow PSMF, but they modified it in such a manner where you are on a calorie deficit, you are going to be high on protein, and you are going to fast, but you're not going to eat animal byproducts. Right, so it's like the concept and the idea of it was great. It was really poorly executed, basically communism. And
you said we weren't going to bring politics into this.
I mean, I had to get that one in, because that one was just there, low hanging fruit.
I deserve that. I deserve it, to be honest. That's on me.
But yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of controversy and whatever. But
basically, when you say they modified the diet, basically what they did was they just created a different diet that had high protein and a calorie deficit, so that you can gain muscle whilst losing weight.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's not the same diet then, is it? Because it doesn't involve a bunch of animal shit.
It still falls under the same sort of umbrella of BSMF.
I suppose, but give the devil his due, I suppose.
Okay, so that was on number 2.
What's number 1?
Are you ready for number 1?
I'm going to guess it involves swallowing an entire pack of disposable razor blades and just bleeding out from the inside, so you lose weight by water loss.
No.
Close enough?
Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close. I mean, good try. I mean, that could have been a diet.
No, it wasn't.
You can make it. You can call it the Billy diet. Let's not do that.
I'm not doing that.
Have you ever heard of tapeworms?
Oh, yes, I have. Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what tapeworms are?
I do know what tapeworms are.
Do you know how you get tapeworms?
You eat infected meat with tapeworms in it.
Yep. So, picture this: 1800s.
Okay.
The standard for women in the 1800s, because obviously there was a standard for women. Because why wouldn't we persecute?
It was a pretty enforced standard for women.
Why wouldn't you persecute the fairer sex? But hey, it is what it is.
Here, wear this giant cage, which is technically a dress.
Yeah, technically. So.
Oh, you enjoy breathing? Here, have this corset.
So I read this one thing. This isn't written by me, but I read this one thing on the internet, and I found it funny, but also at the same time, it said, in the 1800s, a woman just had to be thin. Doesn't matter how her face looked. That was the standard for women. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
It's like the 90s all over again.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, dude. I'm just saying that was a thing.
So what they did, so a lot of people try to sell shit, right? Like you have the snake oil salesmen and all that, right? So they're like, how can you lose weight really quickly? How can we make a buck off of this? So what they did, there's a poster out there. The poster's from the 1900s, not the 1800s, but there's a poster from the 1900s where it advertised they will sell you sterilized tapeworm pills, which, I mean, you sterilize it, but what's the point? And also on the same poster,
hello, look at my sterilized fleas.
Yeah, pretty much. And also it says on the same sort of poster, you'll get sort of different things: quick weight loss, no risk, this, that, yeah, like all false.
Wow, I was so impressed by this. And there's no advertising laws to tell me to not do this
exactly,
yet.
Right? So women ended up buying these pills. And obviously, for anybody that doesn't know how tapeworms work, right? You eat a little larva. And within 12 days, the little larva hatches, and a worm, which has little teeth, attaches to your inner intestine, right? It attaches there and starts eating all the nutrients from your body. So you consume food, and the way food works, it goes in your intestines, and that's where it gets absorbed, and then whatever you don't eat comes out the other way, right? But these worms, they attach to you, and they multiply, and they multiply, and they multiply, and they constantly you will lose weight, but you will also lose body mass. Another horrible side effect that people don't understand is these worms could literally migrate from the inner intestines into your muscles. And then if you just leave it be in your body, they will migrate all the way into your brain. And it's not sort of a mind control kind of thing.
RFK Jr. treatment, yes.
It is not sort of a mind control thing, but you all of a sudden you become sluggish, and it just starts eating all the nutrients from your brain. So it just basically eats you from the inside.
Yeah.
Within 20 years, this worm can grow 8 meters long.
Yeah.
Right? They're horrible to get rid of.
Yeah.
They're one of the worst things you can try to get rid of.
They're very difficult to get rid of. And, basically the technique for getting rid of them, I believe, involves swallowing something that will kill them, which will also partially kill you.
Yeah. So it's basically just taking
You're going to be shitting blood for a while. Yeah. It's going to suck.
So that's something horrible we did to women.
Something horrible we did to... Fun fact, actually. This is actually a genuinely relevant fun fact. Having a tapeworm actually prevents you from getting hay fever.
I'm not gonna. I'll stick to my hay fever.
That is a thing.
I'll stick to my hay fever. Thank you very much. I'll take my normal pills, which are not sterilized tapeworms.
Apparently, the tapeworm, when it bites into you, produces some sort of anesthetic and also an antihistamine. So it actually cures you of allergies at the same time. So a doctor in Africa, I believe he had an allergy to something, but he wanted to still work in Africa, so he gave himself a tapeworm to cure it, and apparently it worked.
But it multiplies. You say he gave himself a tapeworm, but you gave yourself a lot of tapeworms.
He only did it for like a year, and then he killed the thing, and he flushed it all out. But still, like, it was not pleasant.
It's horrible, man. It's just disgusting. That's why I put it on number 1. Here's the thing about tapeworms. Now they're illegal in the United States of America, but for a very low fee, you can go in Mexico and get them. So, if you're a rich American, go to Mexico, get yourself a tapeworm. You'll look
Donald
fabulous.
Trump, you want to look trim in those presidential photos. Go to Mexico. There are lots of things down there in Mexico that you can benefit from. Please go get a tapeworm.
A tapeworm and a...
Ask RFK Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary, has already done this. It was by accident, and he ate part of his brain, but still,
it's fine. That's fine. Well, I mean, that was me on diets.
Dude.
I found it funny, right?
I find it disgusting, but also very funny. Yeah.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more you can get out there, but I thought let's just keep it to 8.
I assumed that there would be like the meth, would be involved in this.
No, but that's not the fad diet.
It was a fad diet. I mean, diet pills were a thing. Like, they were basically meth.
The thing is, this are a little bit worse than meth.
They actually are. Like, you've actually outdone what when you told me what this episode was about. Like, very briefly before we started here, I thought, oh well, he's going to bring up meth at some point, right? No mention of meth. These things are genuinely worse. Congrats on you for finding all that shit, dude.
It was a fun morning.
You actually managed to make me cringe so hard that my face hurts. So thank you.
You cringed more than I cringed last time.
I know, right?
This is gonna be a thing, is it?
It is. Let's see who can make the other one most uncomfortable.
Well, shall we leave it there then?
I think we'll leave it there. And thank you very much. Remember to like and subscribe if for some reason you want more of this.
If you've reached to this point and you didn't throw up. But yeah, thanks guys for
listening.
Like and
subscribe, and don't get a tapeworm. Goodbye.